So, as we said, welcome again on the second slide. YMCA Yugoslavia started in 1920s and it closed in the 1940s. So just a little bit of a history lesson for you that it's quite a new YMCA. Restarted in 2003 after the war in Kosovo and was rebooted in 2013. So you might be sat in a YMCA watching this. You might be part of a local YMCA. You might be here with your national YMCA. The model in Kosovo is for the whole country. So it doesn't matter if you're in a city on the western side of Kosovo or you're in a YMCA in the capital of Kosovo, it's the same YMCA. And this means that we have 3 regional YMCAs. So our YMCA regions, they maybe contain 4 or 5 cities, and they are one YMCA that covers kind of a geographic area of a region. And this means that we operate 6 youth centres across the country where young people can come and get involved in our menu of activities or the YMCA there, depending on what campaign or project is being run. We're also building a summer camp and spent the last few years, so make sure you social media for all the updates on our summer camp. We'd love to see you after the pandemic. Come and join us. We also operate some shops, and Arena, our retail manager, will explain a little bit about this later. It's not exactly a youth program, but it contributes to how we offer opportunities for young people to lead. We have some key partnerships, and maybe you have heard of Care International and UNICEF. Again, some of the managers will explain a little bit more about national organizations that partner with us, and we're able to deliver programs for young people in grassroots and local communities through these partnerships. Something interesting about our movement, it's a new movement. We just saw the dates at the beginning. All our staff are under 40. We might have hired somebody else that's just over 40, but the majority of our staff are all young, and quite a few of our staff are even young people who were once in the YMCA as a volunteer or as a program participant, and now they are here as staff serving the movement and coordinating activities, which I think is fantastic. Our entire movement leadership are under 45 years old. What does this mean? Well, if you're watching today, maybe you're a volunteer, or maybe you're a board member, or maybe you're an assembly member, maybe you've been to your national assembly or your local assembly. Our entire movement is a place where young people can lead, and it depends on the age of yourself watching this, but we think under 45 is pretty young for an entire YMCA that is quite big and stretched across the whole country of Kosovo. So that's us in a nutshell, and if you want more information, please go to our website and please come and look at our social media, and we have good morning posts and everything to make you feel just as included wherever you are. But now we're going to talk about some programs, and I'm just going to switch to one of the main methodologies that the Kosovo movement use here, and it's our peer-to-peer. So obviously, what is peer-to-peer training? Peer-to-peer training is where, say you are 15, you would have a group of peers who are also 15 or 14 or 16, and you would take them through a course or a program or some different learning objectives. And why is this important? This is key for a movement like Kosovo. We don't have a huge staff resource, so the young people really are the leaders here. We usually ask that young people have done a program or 2 before they then can invite their peers and other young people to join in. And we have 3 main programs that do this. One is, of course, the leadership program, which is a very big program, a national program. It has 5 levels, so young people can spend anywhere from 3 months to 2.5 years in this program, looking at leadership, looking at different aspects of leadership, looking at different global issues, and working through this with their peers. We also have tensing, so you might be here today from a YMCA or not a YMCA. Welcome if you're not from the YMCA, and you might have tensing in your country, which is, of course, performing arts and leadership through the arts, whether that's singing, dancing, or anything else, drama. So before the pandemic, because we've not been able to run it during the pandemic, we had some tensing groups. Again, an opportunity for young people to step up and shape tensing activities however they want. We've also got scouting, and this is, of course, outdoor education and being a troop and being part of a team and going on hikes and building camps and learning all about these knots and winning challenge badges. Again, this is an opportunity leaders to step up and again be peer leaders or peer trainers within another program. And this means that they not only get to fill their CV out a bit more, but they also get some kind of prestige within their own circle groups and community. So really good examples there, 3 of how we in Kosovo use the peer-to-peer element of training. A couple of things that kind of cover all of these projects. We're very lucky here in Kosovo that we have a national accreditation system for volunteer hours. This means that our staff team are constantly updating the national platform, which is digital, and young people are signing up to opportunities and collecting hours. And when they hit certain milestones, this means that they can print a certificate that recognizes that their voluntary contribution, I think it's different milestones like 50 hours, 100 hours, 150. And this is able to go in lieu of work experience or in place of work experience, and also makes them more employable or more open to getting scholarships or more able to talk about different things when they have opportunities. So that's a big piece of work undertaken by our staff team. We also try and have training of trainers. So instead of just being a participant, when you're a leader, you're invited to a different kind of meeting, which kind of opens up how leadership works. And it's a space to really talk about how you as a leader are challenged by your group and whether they're keeping to the rules, whether they're keeping to the schedule. How do you talk? How do you encourage? How do you motivate? How do you hold them accountable? And again, this is wonderful because it's a space for trainers. They have their own network where they can talk about these challenges, but also, again, they're getting the certificate, which has more value, if you will, because it's a training of trainers, not just a participant certificate. So that's something we've been working very hard on, and something we like to see the young people get and add to their CV and be able to share that they're more than just a participant. Not that there's anything wrong with just being a participant, but we'll come back to that later. In around 8 years of running these programs, leadership program a little bit more than the others, we've had around 2,000 participants across 7 different cities get involved. Now, why is that significant? Because as you saw earlier, we shared with you the dates, but this also means that we didn't have a resource to make sure that everybody had a climbing wall, or everybody had a t-shirt, or everybody had access to the resource materials. So when we built our leadership program, it was peer-led, but it was also very smart in terms of its engagement and very low in terms of the resources it needed. So we would use different activities to make sure people felt included and engaged, and some of the youth work techniques that I'm sure you're learning about during this conference or hearing about. So this is very special for us because it has grown very big with a small resource, and we think the potential of this, with the power of peer-to-peer trainers, with the power of young leaders, with their energy, has potential to go right across Kosovo, not just these 7 cities. And then lastly, we hold our young leaders accountable. If you're a peer trainer, that means something. You have your photo taken, you're on the wall, you are invited to special meetings, maybe you are able to join the training of trainers, maybe you go to a New Year party that participants are not allowed to go to, maybe you have interviews with the leadership or get involved in other things. So we really do hold our young leaders accountable, and this means that they have responsibility. They have forms to fill in, which of their members came, who completed the training, what date, have they got their membership cards, if they're planning for their sessions, did they book the projector, did they book popcorn when they watch a movie, things like this. And they're also delivering sessions, so they work in twos. And this means the idea of meeting with your peer partner and planning who's going to lead this game, who's going to lead this activity. One other element that's really special, especially in our leadership program, is around the young people assessing the other groups. What does this mean? This means that if you have 20 leadership groups all run by 15, 16-year-olds, what we do is we train the young leaders to go to another group and to ask questions and do an assessment to see if the group met and if they covered all the learning outcomes, if they covered everything. And the young people decide whether that group is going to pass or not. And we think that's quite powerful. The staff have no say in what happens. Nobody fails. So if a group don't quite get the answers right, we will do extra work with them so they pass next time. But the trainers and the peer assessors, they are responsible for who passes, and then that makes them also responsible for how good the content is, and also to ensure the standard is kept across the country. So this is very difficult. It takes a massive staff resource to do this, but we'll talk a little bit later during the session about how and why we do this. But some of my other colleagues are also going to share with you some of their initiatives. But this is just one way that we bring youth leadership by peer-to-peer trainers and leaders.
Hi, the charity shops are a model of social enterprises where we create jobs and offer volunteering opportunities to our young women in Kosovo. With the income generated, we support our youth programs and also send aid to the community together with our volunteers. We really appreciate our volunteers. So for one of them, we've given a scholarship for her to finish her studies. The charity shops, as you can see from the photo, now we're moving towards the green agenda. We've started using wooden hangers and also paper bags to try and not pollute our environment here in Kosovo. And the biggest and greatest idea for us is now implementing also the closed containers, as some of you in the YMCAs may have them. For this, we will need lots of volunteers in our program. So we're calling them our green heroes. We will do together recycling activities and also learn on how to be a good green hero in our Kosovo. As you can see, the charity shops are not a youth-led program, but we try to bring up leaders through our charity shops.
Hi. So the Youth Ambassadors program is for young people who are over 18 years old and they have experience somehow in an YMCA event or program. They are the ones who are helping us to advocate for change and for young people needs. The youth ambassadors are also part of important meetings of YMCA, like locally or nationally. They are example part of meetings with the mayor or any minister that we have meetings with, and they are the ones who are the best ones to tell their own story through the years they have been to the YMCA. So it's better if they are there personally to tell their own stories than us as a YMCA telling their own stories. So before this kind of meetings, they come to the YMCA, they get ready for the presentation, and they get this code of clothes. So how they should be presented to the official meetings. They are the young people of youth ambassadors are the ones who join us at working groups or join us at consultations for our strategy or membership scheme. Example, we have once a year, we gather all the youth ambassadors that we have, and we discuss about the strategy that was before and the strategy that will be next. So they give ideas and they are somehow involved how the strategy, the future strategy will be. The ambassadors usually progress to the National Assembly and somehow they become board members. Example, now we have 5 board members who came from the youth ambassadors. So that's all I have for the youth ambassadors. Thank you.
Upshift is the program with a social impact. Upshift is offering the seed funding for the youth and lead a social impact initiative. And Upshift is what Upshift offer like training, help the young people develop professional skills and experience, solve social challenge in community, learn how to develop, plan and implement idea. And young people who have a common interest and passion for the good of society. And with the Upshift, the young people have a chance to win a grant up to 1,000 euros to implement their ideas. Young people form a team and they submit their idea, and they have 1 week of the training to develop their idea, to do the plan and plan the activities. And they have one mentor with a working experience who helps them during the process. And if they're successful, the idea, the YMCA staff help them to implement the project, like how to write the young people contract, prepare the budget, communicate, planning activities. And I will give 2 examples of the young people came with idea. One is the health minds and a healthy lives. And young people came with idea because school they didn't have a space who they can meet and discuss about the mental health or do the activity. So they came with idea. They did a week training. So and they implementing. So they created that space so they can meet with other young people and do activity and discuss about their mental health. And the other group is anti-bullying, who these young people came, they was bullied in the school. So they came with idea and to raise awareness about the bullying. So they came and did the training with the young people and did the video about the raising awareness about the bullying.
Hello, I will speak about the BMN program. BMN is a program that started in June in 2019 in the YMCA. In total, we have reached till now a direct young people from Gazuli High School in Pristina. Why we work with technical high schools is because those schools are the ones that are more with youth that are more in risk of exclusion because of their behavior, usually their violent behavior. BMN is a program who uses youth development and youth work framework as a tool for and to promote positive outcomes in the lives of young men, especially. How we do this or why we do this is we engage young men in promoting gender equality. We do this by creating BMN clubs in technical high schools. Those are clubs who young people, mostly boys, who come together and they work on promoting gender equality and breaking gender stereotypes in the society, and especially in these technical high schools. We promote healthy in technical high schools through everyday sessions by going into the schools. In these technical high schools, our youth workers, they develop and they send and organize workshops with students from 15 till 17 years old with different topics. Those are topics that cover gender equality, mental health, sexual health, drug and alcohol abuse, peer violence, etc., etc. This program that we deliver in the high school is a program that is accredited by the Ministry of Education, and we have started just now. We have started to work with teachers, so in the long term, they will be the ones who will implement these sessions with their students. Another thing that we do is organizing campaigns with and for young people. The students that are being part of the workshops in the schools, they become part of the BMN club. Then together with our staff, they organize campaigns in school, in the community, in different cities, in the TV and in other platforms. Some of the campaigns are, for example, Are You Okay campaign, which is a mental health campaign that promotes, and as well, it started to the main goal is to start a discussion of mental health in the high school, especially in the technical high school. Another campaign that we implement with BMN club members is also Turn on Knowledge, Turn off Hate, which is a campaign that aims to target hate speech in this high school and among young people. We thank you.
As you can see there, that's a little taste of just what we're doing here in Kosovo. And as you can see, even from arena sharing, even some of our other departments, they still manage to offer young people opportunities, even if it's not exactly what do we think is really important? And the first thing, as I hope you can hear, is around quality youth programs. So not just projects, not just youth programs, quality. We're going to put it quality youth programs. And you can see here, some of our programs have been developed over a long time. Some of our programs have gone through special accreditation. Some of our projects are in partnerships with really big institutions where together we're trying to make it better all the time. So anybody can do youth programs, but quality behind those youth programs is really, really important. And that leads us...
Adi, sorry, it's Natalie here. Yeah, or doing it. I don't know if you could just stop sharing and then reshare, because we're seeing a grey screen at the moment. So maybe just stop sharing and then try and reshare from your slide that you want to start speaking from.
Point is around
Perfect.
the ecosystem in which young people join the YMCA or join the programs. What does this mean? Well, here in the Kosovo YMCA, when we talk about our environment, and we spoke earlier about those 6 youth centers, what's really important is that the young people feel it's their space. From the moment they walk in and they see their pictures on the wall, or they see their paintings on the wall, to the staff greeting them, to the language that the staff use, welcome home, welcome to your place, you're the leaders here. It's all true because we believe it. Again, staff, you need to spend a lot of time training your staff, and quite often a youth worker's role is to lead, but it's also to make space for others to lead. And our staff team, they might lead 2 or 3 sessions a week with young people, but they may facilitate another 15, 16 sessions that are peer-led, or a campaign, or a different project. So how do our staff make the environment for young people to come in and to have success, so that they're not worried that they haven't got the right resources, or a broken projector, or there's no snacks and drinks? So again, staff play a crucial role in that. And that then leads us on to resources. Do you have enough projectors? Do you have enough pens and paper? Do you have enough budget for it? Does everybody have access to the space and the chairs and the tables? You know, some of our YMCAs, they have over 200 weekly members on a little space. That means to be very smart with your scheduling. It also means, have you got enough tea and coffee? It also means, have we got enough staff to make sure that those spaces are safe and inclusive? Why does it say ecosystem on there? Well, we also believe here in Kosovo that somebody can enter the YMCA through any of those projects that we just shared. And there's even more, but we don't have time to share them all with you. How does somebody enter the program? And then how do they exit that program? And if they want, enter into another opportunity. And that's really important. And when we say ecosystem, it means a young person can hear about the YMCA through the school project, and then maybe go and join their local YMCA program and activities. It means young people might be in the leadership program, and they hear about this wonderful upshift opportunity where they can get some resources in their community. So that's really important. The last point, and maybe one of the most important points that we feel here in Kosovo, is to, as staff and as leaders, to appreciate the different levels of engagement. What does that mean? Well, that means not everybody wants to be a leader. Not everybody wants to be a volunteer, but some people really do want to be a trainer. Some people really do want to be a volunteer. And we need to be comfortable with that. And we need to offer a menu in terms of engagement for the person who comes and says, no, I don't want to lead, I just want to listen, I just want to learn, I just want to join in. That's also really, really fine. But are we also offering a level that when people come to do their training of trainers, that is also pushing them and stretching them, and they're also feeling like it's working for them, rather than just, I do tensing because it's the only thing that we do. So as a team, and as a management team and a leadership team, along with our CEO, we're always asking these questions. How are we engaging young people? How are they learning? How, as you saw with the shops, how do young people get involved? And how does that also mean that they're having an experience in not even a youth program, but that those principles that we have are carried across all our departments and everything that we do. And the last point, which kind of came out a little bit, but we try and underpin everything with the SDGs and 21st century skills. We've not got time to go through that, but if you are interested, definitely you should Google SDGs and you should Google 21st century skills and tick those off if they are in your program or in your solution or whatever you're going to come up with. Make sure those are part of it. So those are our cross-cutting principles, and now we are going to switch the pace of this training a little bit more. So thank you for listening, firstly, and we hope it's not been too boring, and my English has not been too bad. I don't know about my colleagues, but we're going to hear from some young leaders, and then Aldarim is going to come back with what we have learned during giving out money for youth solutions, so we can have a little bit of fun on Kahoot and then some other stuff before the end of this session is finished. So on to the video. So as you can see, I've had a quick costume change, like Superman. It's great that you've been here. Let us just apologize, firstly, for the Wi-Fi. It seems we've got really good youth empowerment programs with really terrible Wi-Fi here. So let us apologize about that. But we just want to share with you before we move on, we just want to share with you a video from one of our young leaders. It's easy for the staff and the leaders to tell you how good everything is, but I would like a young person to share with you in their own words around what youth-led approach really means to them. So we'll just share that and then we'll come back and have some more fun in the comments. Please keep those comments coming in. We'll love all this interaction and all these comments. So thank you, John. Thank you, Lester. Thank you, the Kosovo team. I can see you all there. So next video, please.
Who are you and where are you from?
I am Bruna, I am 17 years old and I am from Kosovo.
What do you do at your YMCA?
I am a volunteer in YMCA since 2018 and I have finished successfully too many programs here. I can mention them if you want. I have finished the podium workshop, which is about advocacy and training, the transform program, which teaches you the social skills, the mental health program, which makes the difference between mental health and mental disorder, and also the 5 levels of leadership program, which led me to become a leader myself.
Why is it important for young people to volunteer or take leading roles?
I think, first of all, I think that young people should become a leader if they have a chance, so that they can meet new people and make new friends, and then they'll gain vulnerable work experience. They can learn and teach new things. They make memories and they understand group work better.
Very good. What helps you to achieve success in your projects or volunteer work?
First of all, I'd like to thank YMCA for this opportunity and tell them how important their staff support is, which helps us do the projects and to become a better leader of ourselves, and also the resources, the cookies and tea. And also I appreciate the platforms and the materials that they give us. I think these are the most important stuff that makes us become better.
What message do you have for young people who are watching you today?
I would tell them that if they had a chance to become a leader, they should go for it. Just do it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so that was Buna from one of our YMCAs here in Kosovo, and I hope if you're watching and you're not a leader yet, just do it. That was Buna's message. But also, I loved her reply when she said just simple things like tea and some cookies, you know, just to get you in and get you started. Just stuff like that is so needed. I'm going to invite the managers back onto the screen, and I think we're also going to have a little bit of fun now. We were going to have a Kahoot, which is a program, but we understand the technology plus our Wi-Fi issues. So we're going to share it here, and we're going to ask you to write in the comments. So I'll give you a question, and then you will write 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on what answer. There's no right or wrong answers. And I'll ask Darina just to share the first one so you can see exactly how it's going to work. And what we're going to do is a little bit of a participation quiz. We're going to share with you some of our learnings or experience, especially from giving the Youth Solutions money. So I saw in the comments some people talk about Upshift, that they've been part of that and got some money to do some different community actions. So what we're going to do as a YMCA, we're going to share with you some of our learnings from when we started, and maybe in your YMCA in Zimbabwe or in Ukraine or wherever you're from, the UK, Ireland, I see in, if you are going to go down the route of Youth Solutions, then this is just some of our learning. But it doesn't mean that this is the Bible or the way or the written in stone. This is just from what we've learned. So I hope you can all see the screen. I think Darina's going to make it as full screen as she can. But as you can see here, I will give the question, which for the first one is, what is the best way for young people to receive money for their solution? So this is after they've given the idea, after the YMCA has agreed, after they are all excited and they've done all their plan. We're talking about literally giving money to young people, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. So if you want, write 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments. Our staff team will join in as well. I'm sure Natalie will join in as well, of where you think the answer is for you or for your YMCA. So I'll just read the question and the answers again. What is the best way for young people to receive money for their idea or their solution? Is it number 1, you give them the cash in advance of them starting? Is it number 2, you transfer the money to their parents? Is it number 3, you only give them money only when the items have been found? So, for example, if they want to do a concert, then they can they go and book it, and then you give the money. Or is it number 4, do not give young people cash at all? So here we go, some fantastic answers coming in already in the chats. We have third one, we have Natalie, bank transfer is preferable, of course. People say number 3, people money only when the items have been found. Aldarin, would you like to share a little bit from how you have done it and what the learning has been from YMCA Kosovo?
Thank you, Adi. So based on our projects and based on our experience on the past, we have, and even now, like we are continuing. And for example, for bank transfer to the parents here in Kosovo, it was a bit difficult because some of the parents didn't have a bank account. And the other is like they didn't have a time to pay like for the invoices when the young people give to their parents. So this was, for us, it was a bit issue, but we fix it. So now how we will let you, so we keep the money as a YMCA, and then young people find the prices or materials what they needed. So they come, they do request to us, and so we give them a cash, but like a petty cash, not like a lot of money. And so they go buy the thing and bring the their proper invoice, and so we register in their budget.
Loving the comments as well. Please leave comments as well. Lisa, thank you very much. She says depends on the weight of the solution. So just to give it from our context, we're dealing with up to 1,000, but I know there are solutions out there that could be 5 or 10,000. And I think a little bit of our learning has been, how do we best prepare people to not fail and remove that temptation or remove it not being done properly, especially when we have to do an audit. So let's move to the next one. Thank you everybody for commenting. We'll have another question coming right up. Are contracts important for youth solutions? So question number 2, are contracts important for youth solutions? Number 1, no. No, they're not important. 2, yes, but only with the parents. 3, yes, but only with the young people, or 4, yes, with the parents and the young people. Thank you, Natalie, for sharing some comments, and first in as well, Natalie, as well. She's always first to answer here. It's great. Melvin, thank you for, Mevlon, thank you. Sorry if I got your name wrong. More coming in, people saying number 4. As you're thinking and answering, let us go to Aldarim again. Oh, we got 2. Thank you. John, only with the parents. So a lot of people on the 4th one. Aldarim, I'm going to come back to you. How do you do it on your project?
I already can see some of the young people from the Upshift and Podium, so they already went with the 4th. So in our YMCA and our project, how we do, like we prepare the contract with depends when the young people apply for this idea of youth solution to make. So when they win this grant, so if the young people are plus 18, yes, of course, they will. We will sign the contract only with the young people. But if they are underage, so we have assigned a contract with the parents and the young people. Like will be one person who is the leader with the parents come and sign, because they both will be responsibility like for having the money, or it be responsibility for the implementing the project and activities.
So yeah, as you can hear there, depending on the age, and again, there's no right or wrong answer here. Obviously, there's the legal aspect in your country in terms of who can sign and how that can be done. But remember, we're also dealing with either the YMCA's money, or if you're doing this in partnership, with another donor's money. So reporting and being really careful is important. Thank you again, Lisa. Depending on many factors, especially age, I would lean more on 3 if it allows. We're going to allow you because this is your summit and these are your answers, and this is just experience from the Kosovo Y. So great. Thank you for the comments and thank you for the interaction. Let's move on to the next one. Should all youth solutions be supported? So remember, the key here is all. Should all youth solutions be supported? 1, yes. 2, no. 3, only if we have an underspend and need to get rid of the money. I don't know who's in today. Maybe we have some managers of funds and departments. Let's see what they have to say about this. Or 4, yes, because of youth empowerment, etc., etc. So please, let's get your answers into the chat. Should all youth solutions be supported? Yes, no, only if we have money left and we need to spend it. Or 4, yes, because of youth empowerment and etc., etc. So not seeing any answers in the chat just yet. I will come to Agnieszka. Agnieszka, you are the youth manager here in Kosovo. What do you think about this answer personally? Feel free to unmute yourself. No, we've not got you, Agnieszka. I'm not sure why it's not working, but it's okay. Mike, who's joined us, good to have Mike Bromfield, world celebrity, in with us. Number 2 from him, no. Maybe he can jump on and tell us why. Alda, I think from Kosovo, love to hear you. Alda saying 1, yes, because in any case, it's a solution. Absolutely wonderful, Alda. Thank you for that. Poema as well, number 1. Natalie, 2. So let's see, we've got young people saying yes, and some of the older people like Mike saying no. Mike, welcome. You can go anywhere you want. We don't control you. Welcome. Do you want to share why you said no?
I like that you refer to me as an older person. I haven't quite hit 30 yet, but I'll take that. Thanks, AD. For me, not every idea is a good idea. I think every idea is worth trying, but that doesn't mean it is deserving of seed funding. I think that when we're younger, I've done it. I've come up with terrible ideas when I was 15, 16, 17 years old. I come up with terrible ideas now all the time. It doesn't mean that someone should give me cash to try that idea out. Now, if I can go out and I can get that money, all power to you. I think, if you people that believe in your idea, that you can sell your idea or sell your solution to, that want to support it, then you might be onto something really good. But just because the door gets shut on you 5, 6, 7 times doesn't mean that it's a bad idea either. I think that's important to understand. You know, the Beatles were turned down by every record label before they were given a contract, and they went on to be the biggest band of all time. So I think it's the same with solutions. Just because not everybody sees your vision doesn't mean it's a good idea, but also we shouldn't support all solutions because they're not all good ideas. So it's both really for me.
Mike, and I love how you said it's both really. You know, at the end, just to give you that little space. But I love this interaction in the comments. I'm really loving that people are saying yes, and I think that's a great attitude to have. And I think also somebody said number 4. So yes, youth solutions, again, depends on the solution. I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer, but people are agreeing with Mike, people saying yes, everything should be supported. I think, just before we move on, not every solution requires money. And I'm going to say that because that's from our experience. Sometimes you want to change something or do something, but you know, you feel you can't do that without resources. Of course, resources are important, but there are other ways to also come up with solutions. And I think that's also important in a competitive environment of which solutions we are funding and which ones we are not. So again, there's no right or wrong answer. Thank you everybody for sharing, but we'll move to the next one. Hopefully Agnesa will figure out her microphone and she can come back in on another one. Should we let young people use the YMCA logos in their youth solutions? So yes, number 1, yes. 2, no. Yes, but we should give them guidelines on how to use the logo. No, we do not need a logo. It's their project and it doesn't matter. Would love to see some opinions in the chat. And if anyone wants to jump on like Mike did and say something or share something, would be great. Thank you, Lisa. You've been really, really fantastic in terms of giving your opinions here. Really love that. I'm going to bring in Aldarim again. Aldarim, I know you've had this in terms of your youth solutions. Just for those who are thinking about the answer, just to put it into perspective, you gave 19,000 worth of youth solutions last year to young people across Kosovo, and I think you're going to do another 16,000 this year. So you've had a little bit of experience of how young people view the YMCA logo and all these kind of things. Would you like to share that?
Thank you, Adi. So how we do and how we did in the past, when the young people apply or projects to win, like they took like the agreement and this thing. So as a team, as a YMCA or as a staff, we do, first of all, we do the training on the how to use the guidelines and visibility of the YMCA and even the project. And when we give like to young people the way how to use the YMCA logo, we give a guidelines. And of course, we check everything what they print or prepare for the social media and this thing, just to make sure some of the donor, they want their logo to be and to see they support young people for different ideas and different initiatives.
Just maybe to add to what Adrim said, I don't know if I'm being heard.
Yes, you are. Please share.
Just to share into that, we also within this project we managed to design or create a new YMCA logo or YMCA youth-made logo, which is the YMCA branding guidelines. But whoever will see the YMCA, it will also say bottom it's a youth-made logo, which it can be shown to the public that it's a YMCA product, but it's made by young people in case anything happen, like if there have been different shapes of the YMCA, or if the materials that is in the product, it's something that it is not very well YMCA representative. So we made sure that the YMCA, it is included there, and also the other donors, but we just added the youth-made thing, and that's completely changed the game, I think, for us.
Thanks, Trina. No, I love that. I love that this YMCA youth-made logo goes on the work of young people, so it's almost their own logo. I love that. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you as well, people sharing in the chat. I love to see that everyone's thinking there should be some guidelines on how to use the logo, and I think that's really important. Let's move on to the next one. We've got another maybe 5-7 minutes. We should let young people contract anybody they want for their solution or their project. So, for example, it might be a family member or a teacher. So number 1, yes. Number 2, no. Number 3, does it really matter? 4, it's maybe best to avoid such cases in planning. So just to explain this a little bit more, if you have got some money for your solution or your project, and you are going to hire a family member, maybe an uncle or a teacher from school, should we be doing that, or should we not be doing that, or does it really matter? So I'd love to see your answers again in the chat. And also, World YMCA have just left a great message that I can share as well. If you're looking to join the development alternative with YCare International, and have a look at different tools and assessments, that's going to start after this session in 5 minutes. So make sure to head back over to the breakout sessions, which is on the side, if you want to follow that session. But at the moment, we're just trying to find out here, should we let young people contract anybody they want, so teachers or family members? Thank you, Melvin. Mevlon. Number 4, it's case to avoid this. Thank you. Darina, I'm going to bring you back in. Would you like to share a little bit about where you stand on this as somebody who works with these kind of projects?
Yeah, I will share our experience with youth-led solution, the project that we have had it through Upshift and other platforms. Of course, it's a big no, but there are sometimes cases where you cannot maybe force young people to do that, but we try with this project to teach them also the process. And one of the main things in the process is also being transparent, being fair, and being like open to everyone. So of course we say no to young people, but sometimes there are cases where we cannot avoid. For example, there are some things about when young people want to change something in the school, so directly the teachers are involved in that, or if they want to change something, I don't know, in their community, in their neighborhood, so directly maybe some family members are involved into that. So we try to avoid that in the planning, which is the 4th one, but sometimes this is not evitable, I can say. So this is from my own perspective.
And Aldo, I love that you're saying the first one, every thought on improving the solutions count. It's really great to see all this difference in approaches and opinion, and that's what makes youth solutions so special, that we're all coming from different angles on this. Again, there's no right or wrong answer here, but maybe we'll come to more questions that will maybe answer a little bit more of why we should go far and wide with our search for contractors. So next question, please. I can see the chat closing down. Either people are not listening or they don't want to press the buttons. That's also fine. Maybe your internet connection's not good. We're just going to keep on going here, because I'm sure this is being recorded, so people will be watching it on the rewatch. So don't worry if you have too much interaction in the chat. We're really good. The language we use for youth solutions is important. So for example, winners and losers. Number 1, yes. Number 2, no. 3, the language doesn't matter. Number 4, yes, words have such power. So the language we use for youth solutions is important. Thank you, Nathalie. Number 4, words have such power. Nathalie, I don't know, like Mike, if you want to jump on and share, more than welcome. It's great to have all this opinions and input here. Agnesa, if your microphone is working, would you like to try and share again? Nathalie's coming on as well, so we've got a bit of a queue now.
Yeah,
Nathalie,
I would just say I think language is 100% important. I think, yeah, we definitely shouldn't be using words like winners and losers. I think, you know, we're going to get a plethora of different types of youth-led solutions submitted, and some may need further work or improvement than others. But I think there's definitely a way we can use a broad approach and everyone can submit something. But I think language is definitely important.
thank you, Nathalie. And wonderful to have Nathalie and Mike jump onto our workshop. It's a great bonus for all you people who decided to attend. The count's just going up. I don't know if that's because others have finished. And Yaza, do you want to try and share something, or? No, you can just see your lips. Let's just presume you said that it's absolutely important. Yes, you're nodding, which is very good. Great, everybody saying 4 in the comments. That's really good. Darina, next one, please. Now, what is more important? Is the product of the youth solution or the process more important? 1, product, 2, process, 3, both, 4, depends on your donor and partner. Why are we talking about this? Well, we're running out of time. We only got another minute or 2 left, but it really does depend on the values of your why and how you do your youth work. Are you a show? Are you a social media show? Do you enjoy young people going through a process and maybe it's not always successful, but them having learning opportunities of how they should have done things differently? Number 3, are both equally important? Or number 4, are you working on those, getting the money and working on those bids and working on keeping the donors happy? Because that's also a reality for those who do this professionally. Some great answers coming through. 4th, unconscious, they affect a lot. Thank you, Alda. 3rd, they depend on each other. We've got 3, a lot of people saying 3. Thank you, Nathalie, again. Yeah, I think it really does depend on your YMCA. It's easy in this modern world to focus on the product and have something, a nice shiny banner, nice shiny certificate, nice shiny social media post, and everybody liking it and everybody all really good. But what did the young people learn? What did they do in terms of the process? Was there failure? Loving these answers. Thank you, Mevlon. It really depends on the problem that we have at hand. Number 3 would be the best choice. Absolutely. Ivan, 3, I think both is important because they depend on each other. If the product is not demanding, then a good process won't help much at all. Really, really great inputs here. Thank you for all these comments during this session. I think we have another 1 or 2. Nathalie, you're jumping back on.
No, just to say that we need to wrap up shortly, but you go ahead, Eddie.
I mean, the number count's just going up. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, so let's just quickly wrap up here. Staff should allow young people to give them complete creative control and not influence the work. Now, we're not going to ask you to answer this. This is something, if you're going to do youth solutions, if you're going to be involved in World YMCA solutions, this is a big killer question in terms of you and your YMCA. Do you have complete creative control? Does your YMCA have creative control? Does your area have creative control? How are you doing your solution? At the end of the day, it's your solution, but that does not give you a green card and permission to do everything you want. The whole point of youth solutions and work is being able to learn and work within systems. And that might be really disappointing. You could have the best idea in the world, but if it's going to cost a lot of money, if you've got to go through the internal politics within your organization or within your community, depending on what you're doing. But I like that a lot of people are writing for, and maybe that's where we'll finish. We need to be walking with young people, ensuring they learn through the process. And I think we're going to end it there. I'm going to ask students to stop sharing the screen and bring up all the managers. But what I like there is it's a learning process. These youth solutions, and this is why people like Nathalie and Mike, who you've been lucky enough to hear from today, their job is also to give you the resources and give you the platform to go into your community and be leaders and try and fix things or make things better or start something new. So we're just going to end there. Sorry for taking an extra couple of minutes of your time. Thank you to the 28 people who came in. We started with 20, so thank you to the extra 8 who joined us. From Aldarim, Agnieszka doesn't have a microphone, and Dorina and myself, thank you for coming to the Kosovo session. So this is great. Rona, thank you. Mevlon, thank you. Lisa, this is great. I would encourage you all to continue this chat on Twitter and in the chat box and through the summit and keep finding each other and challenging each other. But from us, we need to wrap up because we've got other things to do. Mike's even here again. He's going to come and kick us out physically. You see what they do to the YMCAs, guys? I'm only joking. Mike, welcome back. We've just finished. Thank you, everybody, for attending.
I was only here, AD, to say firstly a massive thank you for hosting this really engaging session. I haven't been here for the entire time, but having watched your workshop that's in the resource library, so if anyone missed that right at the start, over to the resource library, the team from YMCA Kosovo have really helpfully produced that for us, and it's there as something that you can watch back on demand at any time for the rest of the summit. And this session will be available to watch back within 7 to 10 days on World YMCA's YouTube channel. So thank you very much to you all. I mean, I say this about all the YMCAs, but YMCA Kosovo is one of my favorites. So thank you very much. To everybody still watching and that's with us, starting now are 2 new breakout sessions to take us through for the next hour. So you've got a choice. You can go to join YCare International for the development alternative, shifting power to young people using digital technology. That's a breakout workshop. Or practitioners' situation analysis tools, needs and assessments with Tony Elmir from YMCA Lebanon. Both really good sessions. The first one that I mentioned, I would suggest that's probably better if you are a a young person, a young leader. The second one is if you're probably a practitioner or if you're working with young people. So that's what I'd recommend you do. But of course, you pick your own destiny in the event. And if you go over to the breakout, it's over here. I'm going to try and point. Click breakout sessions up there. And that's how you...
Opposite side, but good try.
I didn't know I'm in reverse. Is it that way? It's that way. But yeah, so go click breakout sessions just up here, somewhere up there, and go and pick your second breakout workshop for the day. When those 2 things finish, then you can check out the resource library, and we'll be kicking off on the plenary stage again at 5 p.m. Central European Summertime, Geneva time, that is. Thank you very much, YMCA Kosovo. You've been absolutely wonderful as always. Thank you to your solution teams. Go and read about the Team Trees project that YMCA Kosovo are running that was funded out the back of the Climate Action Youth-Led Solutions Summit. And we'll see you all very soon on another session. Take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the conference, summit, whatever we're calling it. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you, Alda. Thank you, Rona. Thank you, Poema. You can write to us, but go and hop into something else. That's what we need you to do. No problem. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye, John. Off you go. Go and hop in somewhere else. We're going to close this down. Have a great summit, everybody. Thank you for your attention.